Okay, so when you get your equipment, or whatever equipment you've got, it will probably come in a bag like this, and inside you will find a compact camera, battery, the lens cloth, which we'll leave in here for the time being, and the USB cable. So, oh yes, you'll also need your SD card. First things first, underneath the camera, you have the battery slot. Flips open very easily, and you'll see here, you can see in here there are pins that the battery goes in, and it slips in very, very simply, like that. Bring that camera down so carefully. We will add our SD card. If you're not using your SD card in the camera, it's probably best to put it back into this device and then slip it into this pocket here. Right, the SD card itself, you'll see it shows you which way it should go in. There's a little icon here, but also you can't really force it. So that way, it just refuses to go in. So don't be gentle with it. Turn it around, slip in your SD card. And remember that this is essentially the memory of the camera. Now with this camera, it pretty much turns itself on as soon as you open this view screen here. So you can see there, it's actually come on already. So it's essentially ready now for playback. It's also ready for recording. As you can see, you have an optical lens here, and this optical lens has a 23 times zoom, and here is your telephoto zoom here. The button behind it is a camera button. So actually, while you're in the middle of recording, you can take still photographs up to the quality of up to 16 megapixels. Some other buttons and functions you need to know about. Your record button here, you press this when you want to begin recording. You press it again when you want to stop recording. However, you have this small button here, which is a pause button. So when you're in the middle of recording, if you pause, what it means is that it will stop in the middle of the recording, and then you can simply press pause again and you'll carry on recording. It should cut down editing in the long run. Okay. Some other functions, your power button, if you want to turn the machine off, playback button, and the light. There we go. This is your charging slot here. It's also where you put your HDMI cable. So for example, let me show you, if you wanted to charge or add some images, you simply plug it into the back and then attach this cable into your computer like that. Okay, and then you can add film and add photographs as necessary. Okay. There's another port you need to know about, which is this port here on the machine. This is where your microphone cable goes in. And again, there's no need to be anything more than a little bit gentle. Just get your nail in there and then that's your socket there. Obviously this is the charger. I mentioned where the USB cable goes. It goes into the same place simply by plugging in and then plugging into the wall. Okay, so a little bit more about functions. This camera operates pretty much off a touch screen for when you're looking at settings. So simple press of the touch screen brings up a number of options. So we're going to run through some of the basic options that you'll be looking at. We will set all of these cameras up to a basic standard, but if you're obviously using your own cameras, you might want to think about some of these issues as well. So if we're filming, one of the first things we need to think about is picture resolution. Now picture resolution obviously is the quality of the images that you're recording. Now we're always going to set ours to full HD, which is 1080. You can try different resolutions, but we're going to set them to that. We probably, for the purposes of what you need to do, go for the highest resolution. Stabilizer is probably a really good usage. So it's this function here. So we're going in, and then we're going to select it. You'll see here, there you go, that's selected. What else might we want to look at? So, face tracking. In terms of the work you're going to be doing on the Family Tree project, it'll be largely interviewing. If you're doing something else, like where you may have people in it, you may also want to do face tracking. So this camera can also be used as a still camera as well as a film camera, and the button you're looking for is right here. For example, I put this mug down, we're going to take, there we go, we now have a shot. We have telephoto at the top, there we go. There we go, see, we can go in, we can go out and take another photo here. Okay, the settings are very similar to what we did before. Touch the screen, but this time we're on camera settings. Click on menu, and it's this button here. So we see here are our photo settings. Double click. First one would be the resolution. Now the camera actually has a number of settings in resolution, so we can see we can be 3 megapixels, 5 megapixels, or 16 megapixels, and we would always suggest that it gets set at 16 megapixels. Back into the menu. What else might we want to know? Right, okay, so a camera might want to have the light setting so that when we're taking photographs that there's a light showing. It won't be as good as a stills camera light. Okay, so currently the light setting is on. This would turn it off. This would be a digital light. We're going to stay with the light setting on. Finally, the other setting you might want to think about is the timer, so that you could set your timer. See here we don't have the function at the moment. We're going to put the self timer on, and then when we go back to our camera screen, out of our settings, back to our main camera, what we'll notice at the top of our screen, our timer setting is here, there is our resolution, and our light is currently off. Okay, so a note about camera care. Obviously when you're not using the camera, it's in its case with the lens cap on. It's important that you keep the lens clean at all times. So take the camera lens cleaner, which should be clean itself and dry, and just gently make sure, have a look at the maybe smears on the lens. Just try and make sure you get it clear, there's no dust, and then that will improve your picture quality. And when you're finished, always remember to put your lens cap back on and put your camera away.